Hey y'all, I'm here with Tiara, my good friend, my first client, my first everything. Like, yo, Tiara, bro, I love Tiara. That's my mom and my sister all in one.
Like, what do you want to eat?
No. Bro, when I come over to her crib, she be like, what do you want to eat? I'm cooking. Bro, I be on that. Best client ever. I be like,
I'm coming over. What do you want? I'm getting some Spanish food, honestly.
Yo, Tiara, she be having the juice. I'm not going to lie. The juice, the sauce, the food, the everything. Thank you. But we were talking about, we just watched this video. What was it called? It's by Mike Todd. It was Relationship Goals, Part 1.
Christians, I believe.
Yeah, it was like Christians, how to date in a relationship as a Christian. And, he was talking about expectations that we have for ourselves and just ripping up our expectations and just letting, like, nature just take its course in that way. Do you think you go for, like, a type every single time? Do you think there's a similarity in all your exes?
There really isn't. They're all different. That's why I'm telling you, my type and what I get are two different things. What I said on the manifestation board and what I have right now are two different things. Because I really put what I need on that. Like, I know that for a fact from experience.
Oh, like, this is what I need to prosper. Mm-hmm. I think when it comes to relationships, you really have to think about, like, what you're doing. Like, what you're putting into it. Like, why things aren't working out. Why you find yourself in the same situation with different people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because there's, like, that's why I'm, like, I'm still single. Why? I'm thinking, like, niggas ain't shit. Like, mm-hmm. That's it. But then, like, after watching some messages and stuff, and sitting in humility, because I feel like that's, like, a big part of being a Christian. Like, you have to understand that you're going to mess up.
Yeah.
On the daily. Like, you're
I feel
going
that's just
to
a
mess
human
up.
thing. You're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. You're going
to,
I don't know, you're going to step on some people's toes to get where you got to go. You're going to trip and fall and scrape your knees. Like, you got to do it.
That's where you have to just sit in humility and understand, like, this is where I messed up. Mm-hmm. And the point where I'd mess up and I'd be like, I didn't mess up. Uh-huh. Nothing was my fault. Ever. Ever. I feel like there's a right way to go about things,
Yeah.
And I get frustrated when people, like, don't talk about things. Like, we could just talk this out. I get frustrated, Mm-hmm. And I used to always think that I was right. But, like, in the process of forcing someone to have the conversation that they're not ready to have at that moment, like, it made things worse. And I caught myself in, like, situations that I didn't want to be in. Simple.
Damn.
So I had to sit in humility and be like, maybe I'm not always right. Maybe sometimes I'm wrong,
At least you were able to do that, though, because I know a lot of people that won't do that at all. They'll just sit there and be like,
it's so hard to do because it's embarrassing when you sit down and be like, oh my goodness, like, I made myself look so crazy in this situation. It's embarrassing, like, but
I get that. People don't like being wrong.
I feel like that's the only way you can grow.
That is.
Yep. Bro, you have to look at yourself to know how to grow,
Gotta look in the mirror.
Like, you're not gonna learn how to better yourself by watching other people, You just have to, like, instead of focusing on what someone else did to you and what they did to make you feel worse, focus on how you reacted in that situation. Focus on how that made you feel. Focus on how you're gonna use that to be ammunition to go further. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, even relationships, instead of, like, just sitting there and moping about it, be like, okay, we broke up. Maybe this is a sign. Maybe we needed space. Maybe we needed to end. Maybe we need to do something. Yeah. Obviously, something's not working if we're going around in the same circle, having the same arguments.
Over and over again.
Yes. And it can't just be one person. If you're going into different relationships and they're all ending the same, and you're like, why is it always, like, why me, And everybody always wants to sit there and be like, why me, why me, why me? And it'd be like, bro, you're doing it to yourself. And that's what I had to realize. Like, I was doing a lot of the pain that was happening to me. Like, I was inflicting it on myself. All right, so we back.
After an hour.
I'm crying. We're like, actually, I got pretty far in your hair. You think about it? No? You don't think so?
I do think so, but I can't see. For the first time, the mirror is not in front of me.
I'm like here. I did this much. You can feel it. Just put your head. Just feel. Whatever. Tiara was doing her schedule for school, and we're talking about how it's supposed to be. How it's about to be 2023, y'all.
Facts. Oh
what?
God.
And we're talking about, bro. If you think about it, what did you say? Like when we're supposed to have our kids?
Yeah, it's gonna be like 2030.
Bro, 2030. Like we're gonna. Bro, I'm probably gonna die in like 2070.
2075 or
right,
some weird shit. Or you'd
be bro, that's insane to think about. Like, it's already 2023. Like, yesterday was 2020. Pandemic happened. The pandemic,
Sis, forget that. I remember when it was 2016. Like, that doesn't always...
It's good to think. It's good to always think. I feel like I listen to... This is why I don't really be knowing shows and stuff. Like, I don't watch TV.
I don't watch TV like that anymore. You see this big TV? I don't watch it. See, I turned it on, and what did I watch? I watched something productive.
Yeah.
And not TV.
Yeah. Like, exactly. I'll be watching spoken words, messages, like Bible services, stuff like that. Like,
honestly though, I don't have time to watch TV. I'm telling you, if I'm doing one of three things. I'm reading. Okay, let me one of five things. I'm reading, I'm sleeping, I'm eating, I'm playing The Sims, or I'm cleaning.
Bro.
Or I'm working. I think I said cleaning too.
I feel like to get what you need to get what you need to get done, like, you dead have to just lock down, and like you have to sacrifice like things like that people love, you know, like shows and stuff. And even the shows that are coming out now, I feel like I shouldn't even be watching it. I feel like it's gonna put me in like a certain
weird headspace.
Yes, like Euphoria. Like, everybody and their moms watch that. To this day, I have not watched
a single episode. I refuse to.
Bro, I overheard a scene, and that made me like shake. Like,
what?
Like, how do people watch that and not feel away? Like, you know, the stuff you watch, the stuff you listen to, that all plays a part in your mindset.
It does.
Like, you should be careful what you be watching. Just because everybody else is watching
doesn't
mean that you should be watching it, you know?
9 times out of 10, I watch what I already read. And if I didn't like the book, if I didn't finish the book, I'm not going to watch the movie. And that's how most things are. If I don't read it, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry.
Interesting. That's good, though, that you read a lot of books. Like, your imagination must be great. But honestly, do you ever, like,
you don't want to have my imagination.
I was gonna say,
you don't want to have my imagination.
So you probably be, like, fabricating, like, realities.
Okay, let's not over-exaggerate now. But I definitely, like, I overthink a lot.
That's a hard thing about, like, like, shows, books, like, it's hard because when you're like indulging and stuff like that, you're seeing how other people are living, how other people get to have like this love story that you never got to have. You know, love stories, fame, wealth, anything like that. Watching someone live their life is not how I want to do it, you know? That's why I don't really watch shows. That's why I don't really watch shows. I watch anime because it's like, that can't happen to me.
No, facts. I can't get punched in the face and get right back up. Like, what do you think this is?
Like, the reality shows are a little bit tougher.
Too much.
Yeah, it's a little bit tougher for me to watch because it's just like, yeah, it's funny, but it's like, now it's like, oh, I think that's the way that I should be acting because, you know.
And I try not to do that.
But it's hard to because that's all you're watching. This is what you know. Like, you're gonna like, more than doing the right thing, the person's gonna do what they know. Like, ooh. Yeah, exactly. Like,
like
you're gonna act. You hate your parent, but you act exactly like your parent. You know, you hate like I don't like. Me and my mom used to bump heads all the time, and then as I got older, I'm like, wait, I'm just like her. Like, even in fight or flight responses, like, I'm just like her in that way. And that's where I had to be like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, why? It's not because I want to be like her.
It just happens.
It's because you're around her. You're listening to these conversations. It's all you know. My mom's all I know. That's my mom. Like, I'm going to act like her, you know? But that's where you had to, like, the self-control and the self-awareness and all that stuff like that.
I try not to be like my mom. I really do. It's like, it's an ongoing thing because I forgot who I was talking to my friend, and, like, they just got out of a relationship, and he realized that he didn't want to be in a relationship with her because the girl acts just like her mother.
His mom, yeah.
And he was like, I don't want someone like that to be the mother of my kids because they're going to suffer the same way she suffered. And then it's going to be a generational issue of always doing the same thing.
You want to break the bad generational power. Yeah. Like, the patterns. this is where I had to be like, okay, my mom, she did the best that she could. You know what I'm saying? It was hard for me to accept that my mom was a person before a parent. I had to realize that she had feelings of her own, trauma of her own. And as I got older, I got to know more, see more. And, you know, I'd be like, okay, well, she's anxious right now. And now she's acting this way.
Yeah.
And, you know, it makes you think, it makes you be more patient with people. When you're like that with everyone, when you're more aware of how people treat you and how you treat yourself, like, it helps a lot. It really does. Even though people don't want to do that and they don't want to think about the other person's feelings because they're more worried about their own, sometimes worrying about someone else's feelings is gonna save you in certain situations.
But you know what? As true as all of that is, my I don't give a f- attitude does strong as shit. And it's really strong. Like, it's really bad. It's bad. And the only reason it's so bad, I believe, is because what I've been through and just how the world is working right now. Like, you really, like, self-preservation is such a big thing. You got to be in tune. You have to be empathetic, and you have to understand. There also has to be a limit as to how much you care and how much you give, because no one's going to, you know, reciprocate that.
I said this with my last podcast. I said it to Jade. I was like, here's my thing. God always tells you, be the bigger person, you know? And, you know, we're in a generation where people don't want to do that. You know, people never want to be the bigger person. People don't want to apologize. People don't want to take accountability for themselves. And it came to the point where I was like, okay, well, if I take accountability here, then in the end, you know, I could always say, like, I tried. You know, you can never say like you didn't try. And what's worse than failing? Just not trying. I'd rather fail than just not try at all. It's so much that goes into that. I think right now, bro, right now I've been single since November. And of course, like, after, you know, I was single but not really single.
Since November?
Yes.
About to be up in a year?
Yes.
I'm so proud of you!
There's always someone trying to get my attention. And it's just like, it came to the point where I was like, I don't want your attention. It feels like everything else. Like, I'm starting to peep the people that I fell for before, and I'm starting to see patterns, and I'm like running away from it. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? There's nothing wrong with putting your foot down.
That's actually good.
Yeah,
because obviously they weren't working, so now you're trying to figure out, okay, what needs to change, what I need to do to move on, and you have successful.
To be, but while you're doing this, you have to still be aware of yourself, and you still have to act correctly, and you can't judge someone for not being on the same mindset as you. And that's what I had to realize. But I feel like what makes me different is that I'm always apologizing. I'm always trying to understand the other person's side. I'm saying now, like...
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, when did you start doing this? I wanted to make sure, you know what I'm saying? She said 6 months. We got it. For the next 6 months. I'm proud.
Bro, I mean, I'm not perfect, and I don't apologize every single time. And there's been situations where I'm like, bro, I just can't.
Don't apologize if you don't mean it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm like that. I don't apologize. I'll
be like, I shouldn't have reacted that way.
Yeah, but
you shouldn't have done that either. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I will never apologize
I never think I'm at fault for everything, like, fully. You know,
it's 50-50.
I feel like every situation where you bump heads, it's like 50-50, and people need to acknowledge that it's not going to always be one person's fault. And I feel like that's how like arguments like really get going, because people want to be right. You know, it's not even nobody does mutual agreements anymore. It's just you're right or I'm right.
There's no more we can agree to disagree.
Like, people really take their frustration out in the wrong ways at the wrong times, and you know, we're imperfect. Like, we're not perfect, and that's why I feel like it's important to be patient. You know, patience is really a virtue, and it's funny because all the cliches really be true. Like, patience really be going far. You know, patience in every situation, because if you turn out being the bigger person in every situation, bro, you're not going to feel the need to explain yourself. You're not going to feel the need to indulge in things that you don't need to be indulging in, like arguments and, you know, conversations that aren't helping you. You know what I'm saying? When you're like that, you find yourself in better situations. Like, you'll realize, like, I don't even have the time to be arguing with you. Putting yourself out there and working on yourself constantly and being more aware of what you're doing, you know? Like, I'm not at the place where I could be chasing someone that's not even trying to make the best out of a situation, you know? I can't have that. Like, literally, we're at such a moldable age. Mm-hmm. Communication is fucking key. Everything. Like, communication saves everything, and you start to realize how communication is a part of maturity.
If you can't communicate and you gotta hang up because you disagree, I really don't know what to tell you.
I feel like you're a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you're not really...
At that point, block my number. Don't talk to me ever. Yo, I'm crying. That once you mess up once with me now, it's kind of like you're just done 24/7. Unless you own up to it and you apologize. And I mean like full blown apology. Like I should not have done this because of this. If you're just like, oh, I'm sorry. But like I give you the benefit of the doubt way too much for you to do that to me and disrespect me like that. Like I'm not doing that with you. Right. Sorry.
I think I have a lot of patience and an apology can fix almost everything for me. Yeah. Like
a genuine apology.
But you know what backs up an apology? Actions.
Oh yes,
like
for sure.
Like you could apologize and be like, okay, and then if you go back to doing the same stuff before, I'll be like, they didn't mean that.
They didn't.
And then act accordingly. Yeah. Act accordingly, because you're not gonna apologize and the next day you're gonna do the same thing. All those times where I wanted to get my lick back at someone, I regretted it, bro.
Why?
It's like. It's not even worth it.
Oh, yeah?
This one girl, she told me to pull up to her job and fight her. And I'm like, bro.
What? Why? What is that? What? See, now here's my thing about fighting. I've never gotten into a fight. Not physical fight. I have gotten into multiple verbal fights that have gotten very disrespectful, especially on my end. And I have apologized for getting disrespectful, but I never apologized for what I said. Because what I said was true. 9 times out of 10, what I said was true. And they needed to hear it because they need to just shut up and sit down, right? That's that. But I will never physically put my hands on you unless, first of all, you put your hands on me because I'm self-defense. Right. But, like, I'm not pulling up to your job. I'm not pulling up to your house. I'm not pulling up anywhere to fight you because, first off, not to gas my own head, I'm too bougie for that. Like, I do not want to break a nail.
No, respectfully.
Like, I'm not busting up my lip, busting up my eye. I'm not doing all that just so I can beat your ass. Bro, like, what? We're too old to be fighting over the littlest things.
And it's like, we're not in high school.
We're not.
We're not in high school. All we gotta do is talk this out, and we could have been friends, you know?
We could have been chopping it up over
you wanna black on me and make things ugly. And it's like, bro, you're not gonna make me shake. Like, you're not gonna see me sweat right now and she was trying to get deep. She was trying to get so deep in my head too. That's how I knew, like, that was definitely, like, the devil speaking to me at that point. Because I'm like, these are all lies.
These are all lies.
Bro, she was trying to come for me. She was like, oh, nobody cares if you're sad. Like, she was coming for me. And I was like...
I hate people like that. Like, why do you... See...
Bro, honestly, I was so mad in the moment. But I had to, like, sit back and be like, bro, she's just going through something. Because why would you say... Like... Yeah. Why, like, I would never think to say something like that unless I was really hurting. Like, why would you say, like God bless her soul. Like,
do you need therapy? Like, bro, we can get you help if that's really
what this is. When she said that, I was like, in the moment when I read it, I was just like so confused. I was like, why? And I was like, you know what? This is where I have to be grateful for my mindset and my mind, because a couple months before that, if I were to read something like that, I might have done some crazy, like, bro, I might have lost it. I might have lost it. Whether it was actually pull up to her job and fight her, or, you know, or actually get sad over what she's saying because she's getting in my head and I'm thinking it's true or something like that. You know, just like little stuff. Like, I could have went totally differently. I've never pressed a female for talking to somebody, you know?
I've never pressed a female. No, I'm not doing it.
I feel like in every situation where that happens, I'm sorry. I feel like it's a guy's fault. I would press the guy. Like, if I find a female's name in my man's phone, I'm blaming him. Yeah. Why are you answering? You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Why did it get that far? You know?
Why are you letting it get that far?
And I don't know this girl. Yeah. I can't hold her to anything. That's not my friend. You know what I'm saying?
Right? Like, I don't know if she know I exist. You could be playing her like you playing me.
Right.
Player who?
Right. Like, that's not... Well, she was my friend, but...
Yeah, well, which is crazy. But anyway. Moving on.
Yo, honestly, every everything happens for a reason. I hope they're happy. Honestly,
okay, I understand being the bigger person, but I don't think I would say I wish they're happy. I would say, I hope honestly, that it was worth it.
Okay, right. I hope
it was worth it.
They learn everything they need to learn from the situation.
Oh, Lord.
Okay?
It's the way she worked.
I hope God leads them in the right direction. I'm praying for this girl. I'm praying for both of y'all. Like, not even on some
rude, disrespectful.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. Like, I really wish the best for y'all. Like, for real.
I just hope it's worth it. That's all. That's just that I hope what you're doing is, in the end for you, worth it.
Yeah, and I just hope that I'm sorry. It's for the right reasons, you know? Like, and that's all I can
That's
wish.
all I can say.
For myself, for the next person, for my friends, for people that I don't know. Like, I hope that...
I hope you get everything you need, deserve, and is coming to you.
That sounded like a backhand type of thing right there.
It is.
She said
it is.
I didn't say that, okay? She said it.
I mean that for just anybody. Like,
that is true.
And you could take it anyway, and that's why I word it like that. Everything you need, deserve,
I feel
and
like if you take something a certain way, it's because you're already thinking
about it, y'all.
You're already thinking it.
If you're taking it negatively, you probably need to look in the mirror and say, just blow.
I really don't want to look like I'm about drama. Like, I don't want to...
Yeah, I don't want...
Especially when people are really trying to put me in drama. So, like, especially right now, like, I feel like I have a lot of eyes on me because...
Of everything that you got
going on. Everything I have going on, and then that drama. So I'm like, I really just got to be on my P's and Q's, because that's all you really can do. Like, they can't see you sweat, bro. They can't see you sweat. And if you don't
I want them to.
This is where you have to be like, karma is going to take place, because if I'm fighting karma, you're gonna fight karma too. Fuck out of here.
Let God, let karma, let them all do their work,
bro.
It's gonna come around.
Real, but you have to understand that there's good karma too. You know
what, bro? I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So cheaters that unintentionally cheat, do you think they get karma?
No, for sure. That's probably why they can never find a stable relationship. That's why they're always cheating.
What if it was like a first time cheat?
What do you mean a first time?
What if it was like?
Honestly, you wouldn't hurt someone that you love. That's not true.
Not true all the time.
I feel like we don't know how to love correctly.
Facts. Okay.
And it causes us to hurt the people that we love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when it comes to... I'm so sorry. Bro, I whipped the hair and it hit her face. I'm so sorry. Lo siento. And I realized that more than hurting, like, people I didn't know, I was hurting the people I loved more. And that hurt me more.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like... That's when I realized it was seriously a problem, because, you think that you're being bitter just to that one person, but in reality, you're being bitter to everyone you know.
Yeah.
And that's where you can't let those type of feelings cloud up your judgment. It puts you in, like, we don't really know how to love. We grew up in a generation that didn't really teach us how to properly love. So, we're put in these opportunities and these situations that we weren't even supposed to be in the first place. And it causes people to cheat. It causes people to lie. It causes people to... That's where you just have to exclude yourself.
Gotta exclude yourself. So you're not in that
situation. You have to go to environments that are going to set you up for success and not for failure. Like, and not everybody's going to sit there and be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be going out as much. Maybe we shouldn't be going to that place. But you have to be the bigger person and always be different. Because, honestly, for what I'm trying to do, I can't be like everybody else. I can't be doing the same stuff as them. I can't be... Like, I can't spend my free time how other people spend their free time. I want to continue to be more mindful over what I put my time and energy into. Because, I heard this one thing, and he was like, you have to start making decisions for your destiny, not for the right now feeling,
But how am I supposed to figure out my destiny?
No. You don't have to figure out your destiny. But put yourself in a position where you're not closing any options.
Okay.
You're not closing any doors.
I can get behind
you're
that.
not... Yeah, you're not threatening any type of destiny that were to come. Just be careful, because those type of environments are full of...
Toxic.
It's not even toxic. It's just everything that our generation is caught up in
is because of that.
Is all over those type of scenes. Yeah. It's which all over, and it's so hard. But as long as you carry yourself the right way, you could be in those environments. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And for what you're trying to do, you have to. So
unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. So that's not like even like people that aren't 18 yet would be like, oh my goodness, like you get to do everything. You have your own crib. Da 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 da.
It's not what it seems.
And like TikTok, you know, you're always seeing like people going outside, people doing this, that, and third, and you just feel like you should be doing those things. But you know what? The people that are most successful, the people that are most happy aren't on those apps. They aren't the famous ones. Like, social media can really make you depressed. Social media can really make you sad.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Those false expectations.
Yes. Ooh.
Body positivity.
Why are we giving kids the same advantages as adults or even teenagers when they're kids?
You cannot give kids adult tools and expect them not to abuse it because they don't know better.
They don't know.
And you know, I don't know if I'm gonna have I don't want my kid to be an iPad kid. I'm sorry.
No, they're not.
I do not want my kid to be an iPad kid. Just because you don't want to entertain them for a couple more seconds, you're going to give them an iPad and be like, oh, they'll be good for a couple hours. No.
Pick up a damn book.
And that's why I feel like, parenting is just so hard. And that's why I'm scared of having a kid. Because I really do not want to put my trauma onto my kid. But I already know that I'm going to be my kid's greatest lesson. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like we're going to argue. Yeah. For real.
That'll be my kid's greatest lesson.
I don't want to argue with my kid, but I'm sure that they're going to pick out every single bad thing about me. That's what I did with my parents. That's what my friends did with their parents. Like, it's just a thing. And now I'm seeing, like, my mom sheltered me.
She did?
Yeah.
She did.
And it felt like everything.
Honestly.
Like, I was so sheltered. And I feel like that's also a reason why I let unnecessary things happen to me because I didn't know better.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, it's like doing stuff that I shouldn't been doing at a young age because they didn't put me in a position to make those decisions. You know, and I appreciate that. But I also feel like maybe there could have been some more direction as to how to deal with situations better. And I don't think I got that. But yeah.
So we talk about the list. We talk about how we're not promoting violence and not fighting people. How kids need to stay kids.
Oh, we wish the best for all those enemies.
I'm still sticking by what I said. I hope you get everything you need. She said
I'm still sticking to what I said. I hope everyone's
that
doing
you
well.
Want, need, and deserve. That's what
I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone is working on themselves, doing what they gotta do. School starts soon.
Oh, don't remind me.
Yeah, bro.
My hot girl summer turned into hot girl watching kids.
Honestly, I had a great summer.
It was okay.
I had a great summer. Like, I was outside. Like, not even outside. Like, oh my God, I'm outside. I was just outside. Like, I was just out. So we had gotten distracted. I finished Tiara's hair. I'm on my way back to my crib to do another podcast with someone else. You guys will hear that soon. Yeah, I just want to thank Tiara for always being there. And, you know, it's always good conversations. And I love being able to record it and share it with you guys. Because, honestly, my friends are great people. And we all have different perspectives on life, and we all have different experiences, and we all, you know, we all cry, we all have the same pain in one way or another, and it's just great when we all come together and share our ideas and our mindset so another person could hear it and they could pick apart what they like from what they hear and continue to grow and improve as a person. That's why I'm grateful that I'm able to do these podcasts with everyone. And you guys will hear from all of my friends. You guys will hear from everyone and anyone, okay? So if you are listening and you want to talk to me, you want to have a good conversation, just let me know. Just let me know. This is Rose Talks. That was Tiara. And we're going to see you in the next episode.